Hello, students of government. Mr. Golson here. I just want to go through this week's assignments. We are April 20th to the 24th. This is week 6, our school closure. Last week, I had you get into Article 2 of the Constitution, which deals with the executive branch and duties and responsibilities of the president. Today, we're going to do a little, or this week, we're going to do a little project that's going to revolve around that. Sometimes for a president, it's said that they wear a lot of different hats. And so these hats or roles, there's 7 of them. And so I thought I'd just go through these roles real quick, and then I'll get you into the assignment and a little project that I want you to do for this week. All right, so the first role, the first hat that the president wears is one as chief of state. So with chief of state, think of your key word here as ceremonial. He's a ceremonial head of the government. He's going to greet, entertain other foreign officials. He's going to attend festivities, historic or national importance. For example, he might toss out the first baseball of the season, even though there's no baseball this year. Might light the national Christmas tree, things like that. Present medals and other awards. So kind of the ceremonial leader for the country. The second one is the chief executive. Now, this one comes straight from Section 3 of your Constitution, where it says that the president's main job is to enforce the laws, carry out the laws of Congress, ruling of the Supreme Court. So this makes him the head of the executive branch. And so he's going to manage that executive branch. He's going to appoint all types of different people, executive members, cabinet members, judges. He can grant pardons, grant reprieves, and he's going to develop all those federal policies, which are sometimes called executive orders, and sometimes he takes executive actions. All that as the chief executive. Third one, chief legislature. Pretty easy here. We expect him to be the proposer of the legislative agenda. So here, he's going to give his State of the Union address, and in that State of the Union address, he's going to outline his agenda for the year. What kind of bills does he want to see get passed, and which means he's going to have a hand in proposing those, and then once they get to his desk, he can either sign or he can veto those bills. And then, of course, he's going to give that State of the Union speech where he talks to Congress and the country on that. Next one is Commander-in-Chief, another hat, another role that he fulfills. This one is he's the head of the Army, the armed forces, all branches, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. You can also call it the National Guard. He can send troops overseas. He keeps our nation safe and defended at all times. All right, next one, Chief Diplomat. Here, think about the word foreign policy. He's going to work really closely with the State Department on how we deal with other countries. So he has the power to make treaties. He's going to meet with foreign leaders. He can decide to recognize new governments, and he can propose military aid to other countries. Sixth one, chief of the party. This means when he becomes president, he's the automatic leader and the head of that political party. So President Trump right now is the leader, so he's the head of the Republican Party. So earlier we talked about political ideologies. I let you look at the political platforms. He's going to have a hand in putting in place what are the planks of that platform, what are the major issues. He's also going to go out there and start campaigning for other members of the Republican Party right now, or this is any president, doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat, but he's going to help them try to get elected. So right now we're in election year. You can bet before November, people that are running for the House and Senate and governors are going to ask President Trump to give them an endorsement. We sometimes call that riding the coattails of the president, using his position to help them get elected so he can appear at fundraisers and other political functions. And then the last one is probably the most objective role I have for you, and it's the chief citizen. And this is where he's representative of all the people. Now, you got to kind of don't just apply this to Trump. I know a lot of people have their strong opinions on Trump, good or bad, but when the president is the chief citizen, he's setting a good example for the world. He becomes the face of the world. And so he's working for the public interest. He's making sure the people's voice is heard. And so, he's the chief citizen. And so just remember that. All right, so that's your notes for the 7 roles or the many different hats of the president. And so the first assignment I have for you this week, which you can use for that, is that you're going to create this project, a Google Slides. So you're going to need to upload this, create the Google Slides and attach it to this assignment. So like I said at the top, it appears that it wears a lot of different hats, not just the MAGA red hot, ha ha ha, Golson, funny joke. But anyways, so I got you 7 roles there. I'm going to ask you to go through and look at the president's tweets. So this website here, which I don't have up, let me get that up. Here it is. This is all the president's tweets since, not treats, tweets since November 7th, 2019, and it's going up. So if you don't have Twitter, you can use this site to find one that you want to use. And what you're going to do is you're going to use that, or you can go out there, if you have Twitter, go follow the president at Real Donald Trump on Twitter, and you're going to try to find a tweet that fits with each one of these roles. And so for each role, you're going to have a separate slide, and then you're going to define that role in your own words. Don't copy and paste it. Find a picture, find a GIF that you want to use to represent that role. If you want to, you can write the tweet out, or you can take a screenshot from Twitter and that represents that role, and then 2 or 3 sentences explaining how that tweet represents that role. So when it's all said and done, you should have 8 slides. Title slide plus your 7 slides for each one of the roles. So it could be a little fun going out there and read the president's Twitter, his tweets. He tweets all the time. I looked at it this morning. He's already been very active. So go ahead and have some fun with that. And that's going to be your project for this week. And then the other one's going to be doing with current event assignment, where, again, we're looking at the 7 roles. So I want you to find 2 article summaries that revolve around the role of the president. So in this first blank, tell me what role the president this article is about. Give me the title, give me date, give me the web address, the source where you found it, and then a summary of that article, at least 5 sentences, telling me why it relates to that role. Okay, and do that again. There's 2 spots for you, and that'll be your current event grade for the week. All right, so keep doing your good work, and I will talk to you soon.